Something extraordinary has happened to Judy Sizemore's closet, making it feel more like a closet. An area that once caused claustrophobia now has enough space to hold all of Judy's striped boat neck sweaters. And Judy Sizemore has a lot of striped boat neck sweaters. The Container Store Elfa sale is here with 30% off Elfa and installation. The Container Store, where space comes from.
Episode 1689 of the #1 podcast and Apple Podcast for job search. No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I'm back in the groove on doing the show. Took a couple of weeks off, and here we are. 4th day back. I think I'm hitting my groove. And today's show is one where I talk with you about the biggest career management mistake people make. Hope you find this helpful. Hope you give it a great review wherever you listen to the show. And by the way, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, listen to the end of the show. There's information there about how to contact me. And with that, let's get going. And I wanted to talk with you today about career planning, career management. They're really one and the same. And to talk with you about the mistakes, well, I know I made, and I know so many people make, when they start thinking ahead. People tend to think that the universe is static. And I know, you're going to tell me you're different. You have a visionary view of things, and you may be the one person who is that way. Most people who describe themselves as being visionary really aren't. And when you think of your career and looking where you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you tend to think through the lenses of today rather than actually taking some time to think and extrapolate and consider nuances. Like, AI, for example. We're first starting to see evidence of AI showing up in lots of different places. 5 years ago, AI was a joke. It was a tinker toy that was basically useless. Yet we would have sat with the lenses of what AI was then and not really thought about how it could benefit us or challenge us 5 years from now. My own case, I graduated college in the Stone Ages. Technology as we know it today didn't exist. This thing here, the phone, a very different device then. It had a rotary phone on it. And we can laugh and you can mock me to your heart's content. But trust me, if you have kids 40 years from now, 30 years from now, they're going to make fun of you and the device that you have. Because it's just the nature of how things evolve. We tend to think that things are going to be static. Like, I remember first hearing, actually, it was a Sunday New York Times article that was talking about this, I want to say Pacific telesis, concept that they come up with. If you've never heard of that name before, it's all part of AT&T now. It was divested from the old AT&T as part of the new AT&T. No matter. They talked about this radical idea of how your phone number could follow you around. In other words, this. And they had a concept for it. But, this was 30 years ago. Who would have ever anticipated what an iPhone or an Android device could do today, 30 years from now? When you think of your career, the most important thing you can do is adopt a long-term and a short-term strategy. And the long-term strategy is basically to pay attention to trends, to be agile, to be nimble, and ready to adjust and adapt as situations present themselves to you. You want to be on a particular type of path, but not so locked into it that you're going to miss huge waves of opportunity that can present themselves to you out of the blue. In the short term, you always want to have marketable skills and to be making connections with people so that you can learn from them. You can talk with them. You can become aware of opportunities because, as I've said a million times, the person who gets ahead isn't always the smartest or work the hardest. Those are great qualities to have, but people get ahead by being alert to opportunity. Notice how that ties in with this notion of being nimble. You always want to be nimble and aware and conscious of the possibility of change, because change is happening all around us. I was listening to a podcast today where they were talking about how their business was being disrupted. And the fact of the matter is all of our businesses, all of our jobs are being disrupted. It was offshoring, now it's nearshoring, now it's immigration issues. There's always something that's happening that's disrupting the status quo. There's always someone who's trying to improve it or change it. Airbnb, the impact of that on the hotel industry, who would have ever anticipated it? We can go product or service, Facebook or Google or whatever. It all comes down to the fact that we need to be conscious and aware that change is always happening, and what we can do to be on the vanguard of change, not reacting to it. We're on the vanguard, yes, we're going to make mistakes, and we're probably going to be able to recover from the mistakes that we make, but we can also have the huge success. So if you're in your 20s or 30s, and I must have honestly say, in your 50s or 60s, because you're going to work longer than you would hope to, you need to adopt this strategy and think in terms of being alert to change and being on the cutting edge of it. Otherwise, the door is going to hit you in the butt as people throw you out.
So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few more ways to get more from me. First of all, at my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us, I have more than 7,000 blog posts there that you can watch, listen to, or read that will help you find your next job. While there, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching from me, you can schedule a session, either a discovery call or a coaching session with me by using the button on the home page that says schedule. You'll see a number of different options. If you just want to have a quick chat to see if coaching makes sense, use the discovery call option. If you want the best of my advice with an emphasis on interviewing, go to jobsearchcoachinghq.com, where I've curated information with a focus on interviewing. If you decide to take a lifetime membership at the site, basically what I do is I give you the money back in the form of 1 hour of coaching with me that you can use as 2 30-minute sessions. Thus, the site becomes free. You can also hire me for a resume or LinkedIn profile critique, trusted advisor services, help with a salary negotiation, and much, much more at my website. Like you, I don't work for free. I do charge for what I do. You can also take my classes on Skillshare and become a premium member using the link in the show notes and receive 2 months for free instead of just the one that the site offers. Skillshare offers thousands and thousands of courses, not just simply mine, but on a host of different subjects that can help you in many different ways. Lastly, join my group on Facebook, which is called Career Angles. It's free to the first 250 members who join and is focused on helping you do better at work. Information is shared daily, and we're attempting to build a supportive group there. Ask to join. I'm not letting recruiters in, so it's a safe place and you won't get harassed. And I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Be great!